Good afternoon. My name is David Russell. I'm from Marshfield, Massachusetts. And on April 4th, 2022, my life changed. Before I had the vaccine on April 4th, I was a very healthy person, had no pre-existing conditions at all. And a year ago, this month, began 3 months of being bedridden. Last May, June, and July, I was completely incapacitated, could not move, and could not eat either. During that time frame, I lost 25 pounds. As I said, I became injured on April 4th, 2022, and it was my second booster, or fourth Moderna shot, which did me in. And obviously, based on having 4 of those vaccines, I'm not opposed to vaccines at all. I've had flu vaccine year over year, the zoster vaccine, all of them with informed consent, so I knew exactly what I was getting into. And I had studied the technology of the mRNA, and I thought, wrongly, it was safe. There were multiple times during this past year that I thought I was dying. In May and June last year, I could not move my body, could not move my limbs, could not eat, and I thought I was dying. And there was a couple times during that time frame that I wish I had died. Just had a hard time existing. I've been diagnosed with POTS, which is a dysautonomia type of situation where my body can't control its autonomic functions. I have peripheral neuropathy. I also have developed a heart issue, which is, they call it bigeminy heart, where I have a very erratic heartbeat. And I've developed tinnitus, which, as I'm speaking right now, my ears are ringing so loud, I can barely hear myself talking. During this time frame, this last 12, 13 months, I've seen 13 different specialists, my general practitioner, and also engaged in acupuncture during this time frame. It's been terribly difficult trying to get any diagnosis, as most of the doctors either gaslit me or they had no idea what they were looking at and had no tools to diagnose what was going on other than just the standard blood tests and other things that were going on. Some of the symptoms that I started getting 10 days after that second booster, I felt like my skin was crawling off my body, complete loss of appetite, had arm and leg weakness where I could not move or lift my arms, extreme fatigue such that caused me to be bedridden. I couldn't even get out of bed for months on end, had very bad insomnia, an anxiety level that was sky high, and I'm not the type of person that gets anxious. I was telling Bonnie on the way in, I'm probably one of the most upbeat people that I know. Glass is always 3/4 filled, let alone halfway. And between that anxiety and impending feeling of doom, I don't know if anybody's ever had that sensation before, but it is just terrible. If I had had a weapon, memory and cognitive issues, which to this day still persist. I have forgotten how to spell very simple words. When I went to write this out, I'm looking at some words that I wanted to put down, and I couldn't figure out which letters went in which order. Just couldn't figure it out. Overall malaise, body vibrations. I felt like I had a non-stop one of those magic fingers things going on. Anyway, I did my part. I got vaccinated. I feel as though I've been abandoned by the government, by the FDA, by the NIH, by the CDC. There's no acknowledgement of this condition, thus there's no therapeutic approach to it. The goals that I have in addition to the goals that were spoken about before, is working with the React19 organization. We're trying to get some things changed at the federal level where there's some compensation reform of the CICP and the VICP program to implement ICD-10 codes for vaccine injured such that insurance can pay for people who are going to their doctors and getting tests. Investigate the lack of follow-up that has been put in the VAERS database, because it's there for vaccine adverse effects, but they haven't used that information to take any action, and to get to full transparency of this vaccine and such that doctors have knowledge of what's going on and have some approaches on how to deal with people like myself and others that have been injured. Thank you for listening.